In August 2013, Noe Carlos Herrera was pulled over in Aurora, Illinois for an illegal right turn when his life turned upside down.
The police took me to the police station. Then after 2 to 3 months, ICE came to my house. Since then, I've been detained by immigration and fighting for my case.
An undocumented Mexican immigrant, Carlos Herrera spent 14 months in the federal detention facility in Dodge County, Wisconsin. Now he's scheduled to be deported. When President Trump took office, his administration stripped away most restrictions on who is eligible for deportation. Last year, Carlos Herrera was granted a 1-year stay of removal, but he fears his luck has run out.
My family is here with my daughter, and we know in Mexico the situation is difficult. There's a lot of organized crime and drugs. I really don't want to go and make my life worse.
The process for deportation often begins here at the Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, staging area in Broadview, a suburb west of Chicago.
This is the building where they bring people who are picked up and they are processed here.
Sister Joanne Persh found the scenes of apprehended immigrants being shuffled from one place to another unsettling.
The image that struck me was moving people around like pieces on a chessboard.
Since then, Sister Joanne and a fellow nun have come every Friday morning to pray and offer comfort for the detainees as they await their next move.
We are marching in the light of God.
The detainees are entitled to their day in court, but it's up to the defendants to find their own legal representation.
So often the immigrant has to defend him or herself in the immigration court. And that's a very difficult thing to do because immigration cases are very complicated.
Silence is what? Silence in law is acceptance, right?
Royal Berg is an immigration attorney.
Someone who's been deported and comes back in can be deported again on the prior deportation order without an independent hearing. Many have accepted deportation previously because they didn't have counsel or didn't know their rights. So they get sent back, then they come back in to try to be reunited with their families. If they're apprehended again, they can be deported again without a new hearing. So that, in my mind, is a violation of fundamental fairness.
During the campaign, Steve Cortez was a member of Donald Trump's Hispanic Advisory Council. He says there are some rights that should only be afforded to those that are in the country legally.
No one who is here illegally has a right to be here. They simply don't. American citizens have a right to decide who is allowed to come and who is allowed to stay.
If the judge denies their request to remain in the country, there is little recourse. The detainees are deported.
On the day of their deportation, now they're brought to Kankakee, and their final processing is made. And from Kankakee, they're taken to the Gary Airport. And from there, they're flown down to the border and deported. It's certainly the most terrifying plane ride they will have in their life, being separated from their loved ones, many who have been here for many years.
The fleet of planes run by Immigration and Customs Enforcement is nicknamed ICE Air. Since 2013, the Gary Chicago International Airport has been the staging point for weekly flights down to the U.S.-Mexico border.
We're going to have to really make it clear that this airport and this city will not deport.
Immigration activist Ruth Needleman has been documenting the process.
When I found out about these deportations, I came out here alone and got some photos. And when I saw the buses, the inhumanity of those white ghosts crossing paths was just horrible.
When she discovered this was happening in her own backyard, Needleman began protesting the Gary flights. And she sees firsthand the differences between how the administrations of Presidents Trump and Obama conducted deportations.
The Obama administration was horrible on deportation policy. They never got any immigration reform passed. What Trump is doing differently is criminalizing all immigration. In other words, he is saying if you do not have legal status with documentation, you are committing a felony.
Noe Carlos Herrera is particularly concerned because he had been previously deported while living on the border, a fact which some see as a deal breaker.
Trump's current policies, that counts as a crime. If you've been deported once before, you're back again, even if you've done nothing dangerous, that is considered criminal. And it is criminal under U.S. code.
Outside the ICE field office in downtown Chicago, Noe is awaiting word from his case officer if he can stay or will have to leave. Because he is no longer in custody, ICE has even made him buy his own plane ticket home.
I deserve to stay because I don't think I should be a priority for the country. I don't want to harm anybody. I just want to work and help my family and be a better person every day.